back with another
Whoa!
UFC breakdown from the betting perspective. We are at Rio this Saturday, and we brought out the big guns for the Charles Oliveira return.
There he is.
Big knockout. And we got Gamrot stepping in on short notice right off the bat. This is a fight where Charles Oliveira, one of my favorite fighters of all time, not so much as of recently, but, you know, I'm kind of a fair weather fan when it comes to, you know, liking fighters. I'm not going to lie. But Gamrot never been my guy. So
sure,
it wasn't a hard pick for me to try to decide who I would want to win, you know, but we'll talk about who I actually think is going to win. We're going to go through all the fights. We'll give you some betting perspectives. I got my man Big Gun with me tonight. How we doing tonight, brother?
Doing fantastic. Oh, thank you for having me on here, and I appreciate it. But I was actually going to reach out to you this week to get you on maybe that Abu Dhabi card, the old Tommy Aspinall card. Ooh. So maybe next time you see these two faces, it'll be on the MMA Takes podcast channel. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Jives, the businessman in the business. Guys putting out content left or right. We'll see what we got. But yeah, that was the plan. But glad to be here. And yeah, this card I think it's getting slept on a little bit because 320 was so fucking packed. I think there's some good spots here. I think there's some really good fights here. I think it's gonna be a fun card.
Man, I put out my picks video today.
Yeah.
And when I was going through all of them, I'm like, I'm gonna pick this guy, but man, I really have no confidence in him.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't really like any of the money lines, to be honest. Like, if I'm looking at the odds, like where they are, I'm like, geez, man, am I like the dogs I like? They're either like too big of a dog for me to be confident, or sure. I'm not getting enough plus money to like feel like I should play it. And then the favorites, it's like it's just too chalky, you know. Like,
sure,
it's tough for me. I don't even have a single bet locked in, but hopefully after tonight we can get a little something dialed in. Maybe Big Gun's got something up my sleeve that he's gonna sell me on.
Just maybe.
Just maybe. All right, let's get into the fights. We're going to start from the first fight of the night, and then we'll make our way up to the main event. We got Luan Lacerda taking on Simon Oliveira. Both men looking for the first win in their UFC career. Luan Lacerda on a bit of a layoff. I believe it's about 2 years. And Simon Oliveira came back from a long layoff his last time out and got knocked out by David Martinez. Oliveira is the plus 200 dog here. Who you like?
You know, both these guys need a UFC win. Are these guys UFC quality? You're running up against the wall with it. I think they both have similarities. They both like to get the fight to the ground. They like to submit their opponents. Striking, I think you maybe lean Oliveira, but I just don't think these guys got enough gusto. I don't think they like to stand in the pocket and really bang it out. I think their chins are concerned, and they take some lazy shots, either of them. This really should be, in my eyes, a pick'em fight. Like, I think the lines are a little long. I mean, you're giving Lacerda a minus 250 with a long layoff. I get it. He was more of the blue chip prospect, even though he wasn't a blue chip prospect. He's more of like an orange chip prospect. But you know, he's coming in here with some decent finishes. Oliveira's look kind of not good in the UFC. Let's just put it that way. I'm gonna go Lacerda. I hate this pick. Minus 250 is disgusting. I can't play that. That's way too high for a guy who doesn't have a UFC win. But if I'm good at dance and I'm good at get a little fancy and we're going to have some fun Saturday, I'll go Lacerda by submission, which I actually don't know what that is. So I got to have to find that. But Lacerda by sub is what I'm rocking with.
You're rocking plus 100.
That ain't worth it. I'll pick Lacerda, but that's a pass. I ain't fucking taking that.
Like, this fight is disgusting, man. Like, I don't like Oliveira at all. I feel like he's looked worse every single fight in his UFC career.
He's got worse, yeah.
And like Lacerda, I don't think he's a great striker. His grappling is nice, but he doesn't have really the wrestling to get it there. So, I mean, I picked Lacerda. I think Lacerda probably wins because I'm going to pick most people that are facing Oliveira, you know?
Sure.
So, I picked Lacerda. I'm definitely not playing his money line. I was surprised the over-under is at 1.5. I guess they're both finishers, but, like, I don't really trust either of them to finish a UFC opponent.
They finish bums. I mean, they're finishing bums, right? Like cab drivers in Brazil, but
I don't know, man. This was probably just a full-on pass, dude.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough first fight of the night. You want to get off to that good start. You want to hit like the dog, and you want to, be dancing with some free money for the rest of the card. But you're like, this is what they give us,
right? Like, I guess maybe Oliveira at plus 220. Like, is he that much worse? I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. Dan says after this fight, Simon Oliveira will be a cab driver in Brazil.
100%. Absolutely. 100%. They need him down there. Traffic's horrible.
I'm surprised that he came back. I thought, his third fight on his contract was David Martinez. I thought he'd be out of there, but
he came from the Contenders, right? Didn't he win on the Contenders like forever ago? Is that yeah? So I feel like the Contenders guys signed like 4 or 5 deals instead of 3. Because why would they keep him around? You know what I mean? Like contractually, they got to give him a fight. And they're like, fuck it, throw him with another guy. And he's Brazilian, whatever. We want to pay for his travel. Let's throw him in Brazil.
You remember who he fought on the Contender Series?
I do, but it's slipping my mind. Give it to me.
It was the Mexican Jose Alday.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
He was like, the best part about him was his name. Obviously, like, he was
Jose
not very much,
Alday. So close to being Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
But I mean, you lose to Simon Oliveira, you are not Jose Aldo. It was a split decision, but still.
Yeah, could have went the other way too. Yeah. I don't think he's done anything since then, but yeah, that's looking like a full-on pass, boys. Honestly.
For sure.
All right, let's go to some women's MMA. We got Julia Palastri taking on Karolina Kowalkiewicz, the true vet, man, absolute vet, taking on the young psycho. Every time I watch Julia Palastri fight, man, I'm like, this is a mean girl. This girl not only inflicts some nasty damage, she loves to take the damage. Every time she gets punched, I'm like, it looks like she's enjoying this. She just wants to get punched in the face. And then you think about, the women that you've dealt with in your life, and you're like, some girls, they just love that aggression,
They sure do, bud.
And KK, on the other hand, gives me the exact opposite vibes. Yeah. Exact opposite. We got like a sweetheart versus an absolute psycho girl. And the line is very telling with that, not only with how they carry themselves, but with the age that they are at. Obviously, KK is very old, but she doesn't, I don't want to say she hasn't looked bad, because she kind of has, but she's still in there, man. She's still in there. She's not giving up on herself. She's coming off 2 straight losses to some pretty physical Brazilian girls as well. Denise Gomes, Yasmin Lucindo. She made it to a decision. She didn't really look that competitive in the fights, to be honest, but she stayed in there. I think she probably stays in there again this week, but I wouldn't be shocked if Palastri finishes her late, because she puts a pace. She loves to just get in your face and throw a bunch of shit at you. So Palastri's minus 500. I can kind of see why. Like, maybe if this was the KK from like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe we could get a vet lesson here, but I don't really see it, man. I don't really see it. I think Palastri probably gets a decision, but I'm going to take a look at this late round 3 prop while you're giving your take, but let me pull this up. What you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Karolina, you're so cute. You got those Jambos up top. I know you're doing a little bit of the OnlyFans stuff. I don't know if you're full nude yet, you're full page Van Sant yet, but you're 39. Let's, I don't want to sound sexist, but it's not to pop out kids. I believe she's married now. Because the hunger is just not there. You can tell it. She wants to fight. She likes it. She's passionate. At one point, she fought for the title. That was many, many years ago. Time to hang them up, I think. And you're right. Palastri she's a psycho. And I think there's times where she could have won fights where she's lost. I mean, she's very uneven in the UFC right now, but that doesn't take away from her skills. Like, she is a legit badass who is hard to get out. And, and I wish if she had a little bit more thunder, a little bit more power, maybe well-rounded game, she'd be getting a lot of these females out. I like that late round or late fight stoppage over Karolina, because I just think Karolina, who is tough, durable, she had a run there like 2 years ago where it was like, she's going to make it. And then she slipped off again. And that's age. That's age is getting the best of us. But she is tough to finish historically. And I do like the end of the fight submission or TKO by Julia here. I can't get on Karolina. You got to shave that number a little bit down to minus 500 to lead of state. Yeah, I'm gonna go Julia on this fight.
Yeah, Looking at the inside the distance for Pilastri's plus 285. The ends inside the distance plus 275.
Okay.
So if you like Julia inside the distance, please just do yourself a favor and play the ends inside the distance instead for a very less small difference there. And then I think the round 3 is going to be pretty nice, man. I mean, plus 1,400. I'm seeing on a book. It's not bad. That's not bad, man.
14 is my favorite number, baby. We might have to work a little bit like that.
There we go. I think I'm probably going to have to sprinkle on that, man. Or I don't know if they have the spread out yet. This one, they don't have the odds for the spread out yet. But if they give me Julia Pilastri minus 3.5 at like minus 120, I might have to take it, dude. I might have to take it because she does tend to drop round 1. I don't know.
Quick update here on DraftKings Sportsbook right now. I just pulled it up. They have the spreads minus 3.5. Julia Pilastri minus 120.
Whew. I mean,
you're right there, brother. You're right there. Yeah.
I was hoping they'd give me like even money, but minus 120. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. She has the finishing upside here. I mean, she does tend to like be a slow starter, but I just don't know that Carolina's gonna like hit her with anything that really makes it different, Yeah. But all right, we got some women's MMA out of the way. We'll get back to that real soon. But we got some heavyweights. We got Walter Walker taking on Mo Usman. Is it gonna be the 4th straight heel hook, BP? Because I'm finding a hard way to think that it's not, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. It can't be 4 in a row.
Can it?
It can't be. It just does not make sense, dude. But either way, I mean, Walter Walker's minus 330, man. That's kind of heavy, Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, listen, Mo. Just thinking about Mo Usman makes me laugh. I mean, listen, I'm a Kamaru guy. When Kamaru was champ and he would get shit on about being corny and this and that, I liked him. I thought he was a legit dude. I loved his mental. I loved his ability to go in there with what he had and fucking dominate guys, right? And then you get Mo Usman, who is mentally like Kamaru in many ways, but physically not. Like, he's very wild with his punches. He's been set down before. He's very intimidating looking. But that doesn't mean shit, right? I think Walter Walker's got to get this fight to the ground. I think he's got to, doesn't have to, but that's the path to victory here. And I'm praying we get a 4th heel hook in a row. I mean, I think he already has the record. Let's just keep going. Let's see how crazy we can fucking get. Because I know Mo Usman's over there in Colorado. He's training, but he doesn't come from a heavyweight gym. Until you get a heavyweight latching on your leg, ready to pop your fucking knees, bro. You don't know what it feels like. Yeah, you can have 155, 170, whatever. You can roll out. Cool. Walter Walker's got that shit down, though. So just for the sheer amusement of it, I will be betting a few shekels on Walter Walker by heel hook exactly. But yeah, he's the play here. I think he's the rightful favorite. I think even if it gets on the feet, I think he'll be okay. I think Mo Usman has like a wild right hand and that's it. No jab, no head movement. He slows down as well. And he hasn't looked good. I mean, he hasn't looked good from the Ultimate Fight. I don't know how he still has a contract, probably because of his last name. And I hate to be mean to Mo Usman. I'm sorry, Mo. You look fucking tough, bro. You look great, but I just think Walter Walker is going to get it done here, and I will be playing heel hook just because, just imagine. I just want it to happen. I don't even care about the money. I just want it to happen for it to happen, bro. I want to be on that side of history.
You just want to be right that you got the exact submission and you made money on it.
And it's just Walter Walker who's, is he ever going to win the heavyweight title? No. I mean, let's just be honest. He's not. But it's fun. Like, we need something fun. Heavyweight fights are typically not fun. And especially if they go outside the 3rd round, they're really not, or 2nd round, excuse me. They're really not fun. Unless you're like the elite of elite Tommy Aspinall, John Jones. But yeah, man, let's get crazy. Let's just have fucking fun with it, man.
I mean, they got Walker sub at plus 175 right now. I'm betting the heel hook's probably going to be like plus 300.
Yeah, BetMGM has those exact props. I don't know if those exact are up yet. I'm gonna go to BetMGM right now. That's where I go to play the exact whatchamacallit.
Probably not.
I doubt
A
it's
little
up
early.
there.
A little
It's a
early.
little early. Yeah, there we go. Just yeah, they don't.
I'm
have
pretty
that.
sure it was like plus 700 or plus 800 his last fight, and his sub prop was like plus 400 or something like that.
Yeah, like again, it's not even about the number and the money. I just want to be on the history.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'll take that money and I'll whatever it is. I'll just fucking I'll give it to somebody. I don't give a shit. But I want and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking take the money and I'm gonna make a shirt. Something with Walter Walker, 5 heel hooks in a row. I mean, 4 heel hooks in a row. I mean, insanity, bro. I'm assuming you're taking Walker, or you going, or are you gonna walk me in this trap where I just shit all over Mo Usman and you're like, yo, Mo's my guy, by the way.
Oh no, no, Mo is most definitely not my guy.
Okay, good.
I can tell you right now, I don't have a good feeling about a heavyweight at minus 315.
Okay, fair enough.
That has only gotten wins in the UFC via heel hook. Because if he doesn't get it, what does this look like?
Right.
You know, like,
that's a good point.
I'm not saying he's not going to get it, because I'm not, I wouldn't be shocked if Mo Usman didn't train heel hook defense this camp. I wouldn't be shocked. Okay. Even if he did, I wouldn't be shocked if he got put in it and just like was like, oh shit, tap. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. But I don't think Walter's a good striker. I honestly think Usman's a better striker, because he's moves pretty decently. Like, he's decently athletic. I don't really think he's like a good fighter, but I don't think he's shit. Like, he has some UFC wins. He is. If you can beat Mo Usman, it's like, okay, then you can break into the top 20 of the UFC heavyweight division. But like, he can check some guys. Like Hamdi Abdelwahab. Hamdi's supposed to be this great wrestler.
Yeah.
Didn't really shoot takedowns, but
Hamdi, when he was a great wrestler, was pissing that gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
true. They got him off that gas, and Mo's like, "Oh, I got this dude." I think I was a little hard on Mo Usman. I mean, he's kind of an easy, like, because when you watch him fight, I mean, anybody with an eye is like, okay, yeah, this is what we get here. But
yeah. I mean, I think, what's the number on Usman decision? If he wins, it's probably a decision. Probably get plus 600, man. I mean, I picked Walker. I think he can get his wrestling going, but honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he can't, because Usman's fairly athletic. I don't think he's going to be a guy. I mean, he has great cardio too for a heavyweight. And Walker, since he looked out of shape against Lucas Dresky, has only had round 1 finishes. So there's a lot of things we still don't really know about Walter Walker. We know he has a good heel hook, but other than that, like, we don't know.
It's true.
He should be the favorite, but I don't know if he should be this big of a favorite. It's kind of what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I mean, for heavyweights, Walter Walker is definitely making a name for himself.
Yeah, for sure.
And they need it. They need it bad.
They need heavyweight juice for sure. John Jones, who knows if he's ever going to fight again. Tommy's been on the shelf for fucking forever. What's that window lizard? Dynamic duo. That's right, Bubba. Dynamic duo. Me and Hijab doing it. Laying calf kick and it's over. One calf kick and it's over.
Yeah. Did you see the calf kick Hamdi landed, I think? Yeah. Like, anytime Usman gets hit with a leg kick, it's like he
freaks out.
He's on
completely spins around and he looks at the ref like, they're not doing that? Wait, what?
That's illegal. That's got to be illegal.
Yeah. What? All right, fuck it. Okay. Yeah, watching Mo's fight is very funny.
He's so funny, dude. He's like a great athlete, but like so uncoordinated. Yeah. All right, we got some flyweights here. We got Lucas Rocha taking on Stuart Nickel. Big Stewie got hit with the gilly by Jesus in his UFC debut. He goes unconscious in his home country as well. Now he's flying over to Brazil to take on a Brazilian in the 17-2 Lucas Rocha, who also lost his UFC debut by submission to Clayton Carpenter, who we'll talk about later. Right now, they got Lucas Rocha as a slight favorite at -121. What do you think about this one, BP?
Yeah, I like the favorite. I like Rocha kind of big here. Stuart Nickel, I know Australia is like a bubbling, they're starting to really produce some really good talent. Tommy Nolan just came through a couple weeks ago, and obviously Volkanovski. But for a while there, we had Anthony Perosh. Like we had some stinkers coming out of that continent. Now we're starting to get some good fighters, but I still just don't think he's all that great. I think Rocha's dynamic. I think he's got good power. I think he's hard to hold down. Clayton Carpenter, I think, is a little bit underrated. That was his last loss. I think Clayton Carpenter's a scrappy dude with some good grappling, better than Nickel here. And you're giving me a pretty decent price on a guy fighting for his home country, and they're going to be screaming the fucking doors off the place for Rocha. And Rocha's dangerous everywhere. He's got good knees. He's got good punches. He's fast. Impressive record. Has fought, outside the UFC, it's been mixed. But that's kind of what you get with these Brazilian fighters. You don't really know kind of how deep the record goes because there's a Brazilian fighter that just fought in the Contender Series. He fought in like a half cage, half padded fucking room. And they count that. That's regulated, right? So a lot of the tape on Rocha early on isn't available because, it probably happened in a room like that. However, I do think he's dynamic. He looked good on the Contender Series when he knocked out Bittencourt. So yeah, give me him here. I like him at the low number here. This could be a parlay piece for anybody looking for a low parlay piece out there. Because I like Rocha here. I just don't think he's going to lay an egg in front of his hometown crowd. And I just don't think fucking Nickel's all that great. Forrest Daniel, what's up, bub?
You don't like Big Stewie? The Stew Man, dude.
I mean, no, not really. I mean, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't really like love either guy. I think they got some holes, but honestly, I think Stewart should be a favorite here based on the way that they match up. I mean, Stuart Nickel is a wrestler grappler, and Lucas Rocha is a striker that is no takedown defense and kind of poor grappling. I don't want to say IQ, but like he has poor takedown defense, and then he'll stay in the grappling, or he did a little bit on the regional scene in the LFA. He'll just continue to grapple with you when he's not a good grappler. I like his striking. I like Lucas Rocha's striking, and I think I bet on him against Clayton Carpenter, and I was like, yeah, until this guy shows me some type of grappling, I'm going to have to either not bet him against a grappler or I'm going to have to fade him. And now that he's going up against Stuart Nickel, who's a grappler, I'm getting plus money to fade a guy that I know can't wrestle, can't grapple. I might have to take a shot because, Stuart was a minus, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think he was a minus 200 something against Jesus Aguilar in his UFC debut. Mm-hmm. Now he's a dog, and it's a guy in Lucas Rocha who doesn't have a UFC win like Jesus Aguilar. And on the feed, I don't think it's one-way traffic for Rocha. We're talking about flyweights where I think grappling certainly does matter. So I'm going to go with Nickel here. If we look at the odds, they got Nickel at a plus 101. And I was kind of looking at the submission prop for Stuart Nickel. Hasn't had one in a while. But the short amount of time that he had with Jesus Aguilar, I know he got submitted. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like he shot a takedown into the guillotine. If you watch the fight, Jesus crashed in, went for a takedown. Nickel grabbed a Kimura and just fucking flew him on his back. and then Nickel got a takedown. Jesus Aguilar got back up, was on his knees. Nickel went to take his back, fell off the top. Then Nickel was on his knees, and then Aguilar jumped on his neck while he was on his knees and then pulled it. So, I don't really think Rocha's going to be scrambling like that. Jesus is
he did get taken down 8 times at his Contender Series fight. Yeah. And then landed that fucking knee, man. I'm telling you, that crowd, boom, that fucking knee's coming, bro. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm playing Rocha by KO, which is plus 195, which was a little bit better than that. But yeah, that's how I play him.
I was hoping we get something better for the inside the distance. Minus 180 is damn. I thought we could get a minus 140, but not happening. They see it, and I tend to agree with it, man. Minus 180 seems seems fair. I was just hoping to get a little bit better. But what's Rocha KO?
I got that on Bet Online. He was plus 195.
Yeah.
Rocha by KO. That's how I'm going to play this.
He has great
adding it to my card.
He has great timing on the feet. I
think he can get up. Like, you're right. His takedown defense is dog water, but I think he can get up. And I think he's going to get up. And I think, with that crowd, he's going to be throwing. He's going to be trying to land something. So Nichols got to be on his game the whole 3 rounds. Paku MMA with a G. That guy's in my chat sometimes. Love you, Paku. Paku MMA.
Stewie versus Jimmy Crute. I like betting the Usman under strikes. It covers Volter heel hook. Also covers Volter ground and pound, and under 39 it covers on Usman KO in the first half.
Okay, interesting approach, KM. I like that.
It's fair.
I don't really ever look at the total strikes and stuff. I really should probably. That's like a blind side of my game. I need to get better at. Like I did. I was in North Carolina a few years ago, and they didn't have. This was before they passed gambling, and I could only do like prize picks or bet on or underdog or whatever. So I only got to do like over under takedowns and stuff like that, and I did okay. But of course, prize picks isn't available in fucking Ohio. So what do you get to do?
That's tough. I mean that dope. The strikes are my alley, dude. That is
you like that?
My forte. That's the best
spot for me.
Part that I am at in UFC betting is the strikes,
I need
dude.
to go better at that.
All right, we got some more women's MMA. As promised earlier, we got Bia Mesquita taking on Irina Alexeyeva. I'm sure the chat would love to see a picture of Bia Mesquita here, but we got nothing. Irina Alexeyeva, you probably want to keep her off your screen, but she is now 1-2 in the UFC, coming off the loss to Claudia Segula. Mesquita making her UFC debut. She is the biggest favorite on the card at minus 650.
Hey, chunky.
She's got a lot of jiu-jitsu credentials, and if you've watched any of her fights, man, she's gonna need to get this fight to the ground because that striking is looking rough. But when she does have you on the ground, she is gonna be able to finish the fight. And I can see it happening here, man. I'm not gonna be playing minus 650 by any means. And I don't even know if I'm gonna play the sub prop. I think this is just a pass. The line is just too big.
Yeah.
Maybe you could take a sprinkle on Irina. I don't think she's good, but against like a inexperienced girl like this, Alexeyeva's pretty aggressive. So maybe she hits her with something early and throws her off her game, or Mesquita gasses out. But at that point, I think you're just kind of hoping for something. So honestly, I think it's just a pass. They even set the fucking over under at 1.5. I was hoping we could get like an under 2.5, but they got the over or the under 1.5 at plus 130. So, I mean, you're probably going to be paying minus 200 on an under 2.5 at that point. Yeah. So that's tough. That's tough to really find anything on this fight. Hopefully you got something for me, BP. What do you got?
I mean, listen, Mesquita, she's great on the ground. It's the issue of how is she going to get you there? Typical jiu-jitsu fighter coming in with very basic takedowns. And Mackenzie Dern, who's had numerous UFC fights, who's been in UFC for years, it's just now starting to learn how to wrestle. A lot of these jiu-jitsu people, they don't take the time to learn how to wrestle to set up takedowns, and Mesquita's kind of there. But when she gets to the ground, she's phenomenal. Got wealth of grappling experience. And of course, you look at Irina Alexeyeva here. You look at the haircut. Clearly, she's not making good decisions. So I think she's going to make a bad decision when it gets to the ground. She's going to feel safe when she's not. Mesquita by submissions only minus 130. They know what they're doing there. They know how to play that. Am I going to get to this fight? I don't know, because a lot of these jiu-jitsu practitioners that come to the UFC straight to the UFC. I mean, they went from high school to the pros, right? They didn't have to do Contenders, Ultimate Fighter. They struggle a little bit, and I think she's going to struggle getting this fight to the ground. But if it does go to the ground, again, she's lights out here. That's a big if, and that big, huge favorite number is looming over. I don't like passing on fights, but I might play by submission. If I ever get a little froggy, if I have a nice fat bankroll come Saturday, if I start winning my earlier fights here, if Walter Walker's heel hook comes through, maybe I'll do a little submission at minus 130. But I usually don't like playing props, finishing props that are in the minus. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just rolling the dice. Too risky. So yeah, probably pass for me, Bob.
Yeah, Mesquita subs minus 130.
Yeah.
I mean, round one plus 175. Round one sub. What are we looking at there? Round one subs plus 250.
What's
You know,
round 2 sub? Round 2 sub plus
round two
450.
plus 450.
I think it might take her a while to get it there, and I think Irina's gonna have to make a mistake. So
Yeah.
plus 450, plus 650 for that third round. Whew, that's not bad. I mean, that maybe I could. Man, I'm tempted now.
Yeah.
But I see if you're predicting a submission in a certain round, and they're not, and it's not over. If it's not double digits, like what are we trying to risk here?
Yeah. I think this is like kind of similar to like the Jacqueline Eminem chick, where she comes into the UFC. She's a jiu-jitsu ace, but she didn't really know how to get the fight to the ground that easily. She blew her load in round one against Sam Hughes, and then Sam Hughes is definitely a lot better than Irina Alexeva, but Sam Hughes just found a way to get it done in the next 2 rounds. So that could happen here, but that's also like I don't think Eminem was probably minus 200 or something there. And when she was facing Polyana Viana, we're kind of getting like similar numbers where Amarim sub was like minus 130.
Right.
Amarim round 1 was plus 200. Like those are the type of matchups where I know Amarim is good. She can get the fight to the ground, and her opponent is not a good grappler. This one just has a lot more question marks, in my opinion, to be laying like that. But I do think it probably happens, you know. Combat Sports Cash, what up, brother? Alexeva is so aggressive with her strikes, it might make it easier for Bia to take her down. A technical girl with great footwork. Yeah, that's true. That is true. She like just spams kicks. Like I'm pretty sure Bia should be able to catch a kick and just single leg her. She got a decent single leg.
You would hope so, yeah.
All right, let's go to some heavyweights. We got Vitor Petrino taking on Thomas Peterson. Peterson coming off the win to Dante Mays in Iowa earlier this year. And Vitor Petrino, a round 1 submission victory over Austin Lane in his heavyweight debut. We got Petrino coming in as a minus 310 favorite to the big boy Thomas the Train. What you got to hear, BP?
Yeah, I like Petrino. It's rare that I'm gonna fall in love with a heavyweight number this big. Heavyweight is so volatile; you never fucking know. I think Thomas Peterson's trash. I just don't think he's that good. You know, I don't know how he's just like he's trying to be a jack of all trades, right? He's trying to be kind of good at everything. He's just not good at everything, right? He's just not there yet. And Petrino, I think, is a guy that, now that he's at heavyweight, first off, he looked great at heavyweight. I don't know how much weight this guy was cutting for 205, but his heavyweight debut, I was expecting maybe a little bit of a softer guy. He was fucking well put together, and he was like, what, 240? Yeah, 249 was his last weight, which is phenomenal for a guy going to 205 and not looking soft. But his grappling, I think, is the X factor here. He's a little too patient on the ground for me. I wish he would throw more strikes because he's a big guy, heavy hitter. He's more position over submission, position over punching, because then he's going to wear you down and submit you. I think Thomas Peterson has proven to be an aggressive guy, but when he gets put on his back, it's going to be a problem, especially with a guy like Vitor Petrino, who I also think is faster and more athletic than Thomas Peterson. My only concern is Petrino's chin has been tested before, and if Tom Peterson just goes, you know what, I'm just gonna catch Petrino, that's obviously a concern anytime you fight heavyweights. But I really think Petrino's got this. I think it's a pretty easy win for him here in Brazil. I like them to get a finish as well. Round 1 sub is just what is pumping in my head right now. It's more likely going to be round 2 because he is very patient on the ground, but for some reason, round 1 sub I can't get out of my fucking head. But either way, I like Petrino pretty big here. You can lock this dude up. You can throw him in parlays.
Oh, no. We're locking him up.
Locking him up, bro. Look at this. I got some sound effects here, bro.
More than locking him in a wheel.
Just fucking lock him up, bro. And, you know, a little Johnny Anik sound effect.
Send him home early.
Send him home early. I think he's getting them done early. I think he's taking Thomas Peterson out early. Yeah, I like Petrino here. And I usually don't get this excited about heavyweight fights. I'm usually not a great heavyweight picker, even being a heavyweight myself. You think I'd have an eye for this. I don't. But yeah, man, just something screams Petrino, round 1 sub, getting it done, and fucking looking good doing it too.
Yeah, I think Petrino should get it done here. And I think he's definitely the rightful favorite. Honestly, I think minus 310 kind of seems right. Like in that ballpark seems right to me. Because like, how does Thomas Peterson win this fight? I think he's definitely got to get some wrestling going.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only really good wrestling he's shown in the UFC is against Dante Mays, and anybody can really wrestle that guy.
Don't tell. I've told a story numerous times on my podcast years and years and years ago. I'm an old dog there, Hayden. I train MMA, and Dante Mays is from a little town in Kentucky, basically by Louisville. He reps Louisville, but outside Louisville. When I was training, I was a heavyweight, good at being an amateur. He was an amateur, knocking everyone out. No one would spar at them. So they're like, BP, will you drive to Ashland, Kentucky to spar with this new heavyweight they got? No one wants to spar with them. I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck yeah. The day we're ready to come, Dontel goes, nah, I ain't sparring with that white boy. That's literally what he said. So never happened, but I wish you the best, Dontel. I mean, you're doing it. You made it to the UFC, buddy. You trained with John Jones. But yeah, he said, I ain't fucking sparring with that white boy. Was a direct quote. I heard him on the phone with Chris Curtis, who's in UFC, who's behind me. He was the one setting everything up, and he said that on speaker in front of Chris Curtis. I'm like, well, that saves me a fucking 2.5 hour drive. All right.
Damn.
Dontel Maz. Yeah, he didn't want that work, bro. He didn't want the work.
He's like, what he really meant was, I'm not getting beat up by this white boy.
I'm not getting beat up by this white boy. Yeah, because like the thing was, is they're like, yeah, like, you know, they kind of talked me up a little bit. And it's not wasn't like he was scared or anything, but I think he came from a tiny little camp with like 4 people. And he's knocking everyone around. And then he fought locally. He fought in Northern Kentucky, which is basically Cincinnati. And he was knocking dudes out left and right, like guys who didn't even belong in the same cage as him with like one punch. So he had a pretty easy road. And I think when someone said, oh, this dude will give you work, I think it was just like, nah, not going to do it. Not going to do it.
That sounds like Dontel Mays, man.
That sounds like, but you know who I did spar is, you know, if you want to remember old Harry Hunsucker, the old famous Harry Hunsucker from the UFC, another Kentucky boy. Yeah, we had a couple rounds, old Harry and I. Yeah, back when he was a pro, maybe just turning pro. I'm not really sure what his status was, but yeah,
the big Hunsucker, man.
Yeah,
damn,
the old Harry.
Old Harry.
There's some videos of it too. I don't have them anymore. I have to ask my buddy for them, but they requested for it to be videotaped, you know, with phones or whatever. Yeah. So I gotta find those videos.
That's hilarious. Big Harry. That's a name drop, dude. That's
Harry Hunsucker, man. Yeah.
Only the diehards would know Harry Hunsucker.
Harry Hunsucker. I think he's still doing it locally too. I think he's out there collecting wins. I can't be sure though, but I think he is. I have to look him up. Sorry for deal around the show. Every time I think of Dontel Mays, I think of that.
Oh, that's funny. I like it. Yeah, I don't really got much on this one, man. I think Petrino should get it done here, and I actually think it could maybe be a decision. It just really depends if Petrino lands like a big shot, because Peterson walks into punches, so I could see a knockout here. I don't know if it's gonna be a sub though. Like, I don't know if Peterson's got a neck to choke. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like maybe like an arm triangle.
Head and arm. Yeah, I'm the vision's head and arm, babe.
Head and arm. Yeah, I could see that. What's the number on Petrino sub? Plus 550. It's pretty.
Nice. I can answer that. I'm gonna write that down right there. Add that.
Decision's plus 600. He's patient
dude. He's so patient. He floats on top, and there's no rush. He don't give a fuck if the crowd's booing or not. And then all of a sudden, he'll just fucking slip it in there. He doesn't really have, I don't think, I think he's got a decent Kimura, but yeah, it's mainly chokes with him.
I wish he was more aggressive. Then I'd be more
I wish he was too, yeah.
All right, we got some flyweights here. We got Jeff Filio taking on Clayton Carpenter. Carpenter coming in here off the loss to Tajir Ulanbekov, and Jafel Filio coming off the loss to Alan Nascimento. Both fights where both guys got out-grappled.
Yeah.
So now, who's going to be the guy that wins the grappling exchanges? Because I'm pretty sure this fight's probably going to play out on the ground. I mean, Jafel Filio that's where every fight plays out with him. And I think he could have the better the exchanges here against Clayton Carpenter. Now, I'm not a grappler, so I'm not, too versed in everything that's going on in the ground. But I look at Jafel, and I think he's just so aggressive, and he's a little bit his aggressiveness comes back to haunt him at some times. Against Nascimento, he was kind of falling off the back and losing position. So maybe that screws him. I don't really know what's going on with this fight. I really apologize to the chat because a lot of these fights, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I could see it going so many different ways. And a lot of these lines are pretty close. Some of them are a little bit wide, and I'm kind of making a case for why they shouldn't be that wide. But Jafel at plus 110 right now. If it was like plus 150, I'd probably take a shot. But I think plus 110 just isn't quite good enough to me. I think it's a pick 'em here. I think it should be a pick 'em. I'm not really sure, which guy's going to have the better of the grappling exchanges. I would say Carpenter's probably the cleaner striker on the feet, but Filio's pretty aggressive and he can hurt you. And Carpenter is there to be hit. And Carpenter's takedown defense isn't that great. So I do tend to lean towards Filio as the dog. But what do you got?
Yeah, that was my initial read was Filio as a dog. And then I rewatched a couple of his fights, and he's super aggressive on the ground. When he fought Muhammad Mokaev, he had deep knee bars and he was going for it, which is great. It's exciting. But you lose position, and if you don't get it, then you're out of position. Then you could possibly lose the fight round, what so forth. And that's what he did against Nascimento as well. He just over-positioned himself, and he was too excited, rushed everything. Unlike Petrino, who's so patient, it's slow. Filio's more action, which is more pleasing to watch, but also can be frustrating when you're giving up positions. I think Clayton Carpenter coming from that Arizona camp, I think he's buttoned up, man. I think he's pretty solid. I think his striking is a little too basic. I don't think it's really there's nothing that's really sexy about it. It's just very 1-2 leg kick, I'm going to take you down type deal. I think Filio is going to be chomping at the legs. He's got some good leg kicks, I think. And I just think Clayton, though, just maybe has a little bit of an edge on the grappling, I think, positionally. He also has some good submissions himself. I just think Clayton has a better gas tank, going to be a little bit more physically strong than Filio. Early on in the week, I was on Jafel. Early on in the week, I'm like, I need some dog money. I need some plus money. I need to juice this up. It was baby plus money early this week at plus 102. You said it's plus 115 now, but I'm going to ride with the American. I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter. I think he's going to get it done. Probably by decision. I don't see a finish happening. I think both these guys are pretty solid. I think it's going to play on the ground, on the feet. I think they're fairly even. I think Clayton has better boxing. Jafel has better kicks. But, give me Clayton by decision. The low number's okay with me. Low number's okay with me.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking a little long shot here we could take a peek at, since Filio has been subbed in the third round twice. Little Carpenter round 3 sub plus 2,000.
I like it. Last time we were on here, I hit Ricci at what was it? 14?
Yeah, I think it was 14. You said
people expect me now when I come with Hey Jive, this the hardest working guy in business, to give out these crazy props. I love it. I love that third round submission there by Clayton Carpenter.
Like it?
I like it. No. I love it, bro. I love it. I'm adding it to my card.
And that's worth a little sprank, a little sprink and dink. Honestly, last time you were on here and you said Ricci by KO, I was like, yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, okay. And then I'm watching it. She fucking elbows him right in the eye. I'm like, no way that shit just
it's because who she was fighting was so soft. I knew I knew Hebos has packed it in, and just the elbow is brutal. I mean, listen, take nothing away from Ricci, but I knew Hebos, who's had some chin issues, who had some durability issues. She got shooken up for bad concussions or whatever. Like, we're gonna talk about Vincent De Luque, later on the card. He's the same way. He's been shooken up some brain stuff too. So that fucks with you, man. That can really get you when you're in there. So, I mean, I obviously it was a great number and I took a shot in the dark, but I did see Ricci possibly getting out of there, considering 90% of her training right now is just fucking with Freddie Roach and boxing, right? And she does a little bit of jiu-jitsu with Mackenzie Dern in her garage. So that was a good call.
What a call. What an absolute call. All right, let's go to some featherweights. We got Lucas Almeida taking on Michael as well as Michael as well. He's a boy. He's 0-1 in the UFC, though. Comes in his UFC debut to Blachowicz, loses a decision, and Lucas Almeida is coming off a loss to Danny Silva by split. I was kind of shocked to see Aswell as a favorite, to be honest. Yeah. But I kind of get it. Aswell's minus 145, Almeida's plus 125. Like, I get Aswell's maybe got the better cardio, probably got more output. And Almeida has been hurt in a couple fights in the UFC. But I kind of like the upside with the dog here. I think the dog hits hard. I mean, he just showed his last time out against Silva. Silva pushes a pretty decent pace. He went 15 and he actually won round 3. So I think Almeida might be able to land the more eye-catching shots here because we know Aswell's going to throw a ton. But it's jabs and 1-2s and a few hooks in here and there, but there's not really much to his game outside of that. And I think Almeida can mix it up a little bit more. So I like the dog here with Almeida at plus 125. Haven't bet it yet. I'm kind of debating how I want to go about it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it because I've been trying to keep it a little bit tighter, these days. But he looks like a decent dog here this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm on Almeida as well, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think the reason Aswell is a favorite is because he was such an underdog to Blachowicz, and he did such a great job. He showed hard. He came back. He had the boxing. He showed his toughness, right? And everyone's like, "Oh my God, this guy's fucking. He belongs here, right?" So they give him Almeida, who's had some bumps in the UFC. He's also looked good as well. He slept a few guys. His striking, I think, is pretty good. Overall, I think it's decent. And you got Aswell, who's primarily a boxer, Texas kid. He's tough. He's durable. People like him. But I just think Almeida has more tools in the bank. I think Almeida's got better kicks at these, better hands. I think Aswell is your typical story. It reminds me of Felipe Dos Santos, who fought Manel Kopp and looked great. Everyone's like, holy shit. You see Dos Santos against Kopp, how great he looked? Yeah. I don't think the dude want to fight the rest of the time. That kind of reminds me of Aswell. He looked really good against Oki. But it's like, yeah, but now you're the favorite. Now you're supposed to show up, right? What can you do now? And I've seen a lot of them. I've seen enough of them to know. I don't know if he can do that. And I don't think the world of Almeida. I do think his striking's pretty cursed. I do think he has some finishing ability. Again, we're in Brazil here. So Aswell's got to do something special here. And I just don't know if he's capable of doing that. I think his boxing is solid. But that's about it. And his chin's decent. His chin's decent as well. So, I like Almeida. You're giving me plus money here. I think Vegas got this one wrong. And hopefully we can reward that with some cash in our pockets. Decision, plus 350, yeah.
Yeah, Almeida decision could be nice. I remember I played him inside the distance against Timmy Kwamba when he was like a plus 170 dog.
Yeah.
Something like that. And he got the win by decision. I was like, how did I get greedy, man? Like, why did I get greedy? Should have just played the fucking money line. But
every weekend I say that to myself. It's like, dude, on fucking Tuesday, you thought in your head, this is how it's going to happen. On Saturday, you're like, yeah, but it's plus whatever this way. And then you're like, what are you doing? That's why I'm a bad poker player. I shove in too much. Just kind of, stack chips, man. Sometimes I push too much, man.
Yeah, I like Almeida. And hopefully he doesn't get chinned. That's really my worry is Aswell.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. Outside of that, I think he's okay. If it goes to decision, I expect it to be fairly competitive. And you're getting the dog there at the decision.
Either way, I think that's a fun fight. I think that'll be a good fight.
Yeah, should be a good one. All right, we got some more featherweights. We got Ricardo Ramos taking on Khan Awfully. Awfully is awful. That's it. I'm kidding. He is 0-2 in the UFC. One of those being the Ultimate Fighter finale fight against Myron Santos, where he got KO'd. Ricardo Ramos is honestly hasn't looked good at all in his last 4 fights. Sub twice by guillotine. Then he goes and faces Kulabau. I had a bet on him there. I have no idea how he won, but he found a fucking way that night to get it done. And then he gets beat up by Chepe Mariscal. So, I mean, this is definitely a step down in competition for Ramos. And he is the favorite, I think rightfully so. But honestly, no chance in hell I'm playing Ramos at chalk. And I don't think Awfully is completely awful. I don't think he's completely awful. But I do think he's going to struggle to get wins at a UFC level. I think maybe, if Ramos shoots another sloppy takedown, he could get caught in that guillotine because Awfully's got a couple guillotines on his record. And he is a grappler, short guy, short arms, kind of like a Jesus Aguilar type of guillotine. So I could see that. But that's really the only angle I'm kind of looking at here is maybe an Awfully by sub, little sprinkle, and that's sitting at – what is that sitting at? plus 450 right now. You probably get like plus
Okay.
500 or something like that later in the
Sure.
week. But yeah, that's really all I got on this one. What do you got?
Yeah, I like Ramos in this spot. He's only 30, which is crazy. I feel like he's been around forever, and he's so up and down in the UFC. But his big knock, at least the one I gave on him, is he quits in fights, right? When shit gets tough, I'm done, right? But Chepe, who I keep in high regard, I think Chepe Maniscalco could be a guy that's going to maybe be in that top 5 one day. He went 3 with him and didn't quit. And that dude is a motor, right? And that just impressed me to the fact of his mental. He's getting better as he's getting older. He's in Brazil now against Offley, who I don't think is very good. I do think he might be awful. He didn't look great on the Ultimate Fighter. That was a weak season. And then obviously his last fight, his debut in the UFC wasn't the best in the world as well. He was fighting another Naimov, he fought Naimov, another grappler. Another guy built exactly like him. It was like 32-30 on the strikes. Naimov edged him out in the takedowns. I do think he can wrestle fuck Ramos here. I think he can take Ramos down, hold him down, and just fucking win 3 rounds, win a boring decision. I just think Ramos, though, I don't know. I mean, playing him at chalk is insane. You're 100% right. But I just think the spinning attacks and some of the dangerous stuff he's got could possibly pull this out. So I went Ramos, but I tell you what, you and I both agree that Offley isn't like the, world-renowned guy or anything like that. Kenny Florian on Monday, when we picked this fight, really likes Offley, which is surprising. I text Kenny Florian after the show, was like, do you got the right guy? Like, why were you so, do you know this guy personally? Why are you so complimentary of this guy? Kenny's like, no, I just think he's actually better than what he has shown. So that's high praise for a guy like Kenny who's got the eye. But no, I'm on Ramos here. Ramos by decision is probably one I'm going to play. Don't love it. I'm probably not going to play it at all. But if I had to play it right, it's going to be Ramos by decision. But no, I don't have the best read on this fight because, again, I just think Offley could wrestle fuck him for 3 rounds. I think Ramos can land something crazy. Yeah, we'll see here. But yeah, I if I'm going to go Ramos by decision, but I'm not going to put a lot of money on it if I put any at all.
Dude, honestly, I didn't think Offley was – I thought he was going to be okay in the UFC before he got knocked out by Myron Santos. I thought he was going to be all right. And – I don't really think it's a terrible shot to take on the dog because Ramos has honestly looked terrible in his last 4 fights, even though he got 1 win. Much better level of competition, but I don't really think Ramos separates himself that much in fights, so could be competitive.
And also another thing that's a very big narrative, especially when you go to Brazil, if this is a fairly close fight, even if it's not a close fight, we go to the judges. Funky shit happens in Brazil. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I know the UFC travels with the judges now, but that crowd can sway judges, even the best judges. So thank you, Cole. Appreciate that. But yeah, I like it. I don't love it. Again, if I'm up on the night, I'll sprinkle Ramos. But you're right. I've been playing a little bit tighter as well lately. I've been taking too many beatings. So give me Ramos, but don't love it.
Well, word is the Brazilian midget ring girl will be ringside in Rio.
I didn't know one existed, but that is fascinating.
Yeah. That dude that fought on the Contender Series last night. You didn't see that midget that was?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, yeah. She'll be in Rio. Hey, yo, okay.
She'll be in Rio. Get your tickets, boys.
Conor McGregor had himself one at Sturgis. I didn't even see that picture.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh man.
All right, we got 4 fights left. We got Jonathan Diniz taking on Mario Pinto, heavyweights here. Another fight where the line is very close. We got Jonathan Diniz right now at -128, Pinto +108. Looks like the line is moving towards Diniz, which I kind of agree with. But at the end of the day, man, I don't really think anybody could have a strong take on this one. I mean, I think they're both heavyweights. They're both solid strikers. I would say Diniz has a longer history with the kickboxing, and I think Diniz, with his UFC experience, might have a slight edge. So I do favor him slightly, but I don't think Pinto is going to get worked here by Diniz. Both guys are pretty patient. I think Diniz is a little more crisp just with his kickboxing technique. I think Pinto's kind of looking more to feel you out instead of chip away at you as the fight goes on. So I picked Diniz. I don't think I'm going to bet him because I do think Pinto could be decent, but I think Deniz's chin is probably a little bit better. I've seen Pinto hurt on multiple occasions, especially last fight against Austin Lane. not many people are getting dropped by Austin Lane.
All right.
And then I think his cardio is good, and I think his striking is crisp. Well, I favor Denise, but I don't know if I'm going to play it. At minus 128, I think it's about right. What do you got?
I love Denise in the spot, actually. I think Pinto, so Denise is the crisp striker, but sometimes those awkward, weird guys can give you some fits. And Pinto is definitely a guy, 6'6", he's 6'6", excuse me. He throws out weird angles. He's got those long-range punches. He knocked out Austin Lane. Who cares, right? Everyone. But before that, Austin Lane was giving him the business. Austin Lane was working really well in the clinch. He's 6'6", but he's a 205er. He's not a heavyweight, right? He needs to trim up a little bit, go to 205, and then he'll be a fucking problem at 205. But right now, I think Janice has better kickboxing and he has better kicks. He's 6'4". He's not a small guy by any means. I think Janice's biggest issue, his only issue in the UFC so far has been Tabora, who's basically the Neil Magny of fucking heavyweight, right? If you get past that guy, you might be smooth sailing. If not, he'll grind you out, he'll lay his big body on top and, finish you. Denise's grappling is obviously not up to par, but and if Pinto wants to grapple, that's cool. He's got some fights outside the UFC on this weird promotion. I forget what it was, Levels, I think it was called, where he fought primarily grapplers, and he's defended well. But his striking, I still thinks he's hittable, and he's been hurt before, and I just think that's because he's not a true heavyweight. I think Janice is going to put on him. I like a second round KO, baby. Second round KO. I think he'll survive the first round. I think Janice is going to have to maybe figure out how to get through that 6'6" frame, chop away at the legs. Pinto going to slow down just enough, and Janice is going to land something. So give me round 2, knockout, Janice. Book it, Hayden. Book it, baby.
What do we got on those odds here? Round 2 KO for Denise, sitting at plus 7V. Woo!
Let's do it, baby. Round 3 is 1,400. I do like that 1,400 there too. But I just listen. I think Janice. I mean, I watched some of his kickboxing stuff. Kickboxing striking is different. It's more patient, fluid. It's a different tempo than MMA. But he is pretty clean on the feet. And if he gets aggressive, he should have had Alvin Hines out last time out. Old Alvin Hines, but Alvin Hines had every bit of that Russian gas in him. Pissed real hot. So that's probably why I didn't get him out of there. But I like Janice big in this spot, actually, dude. I'm actually confident. That's like the second heavyweight I'm really confident in. What is going on with me today? That's usually not. I'm probably going to go over. I'm going to throw up a bagel on this card because I'm weirdly confident in these fucking heavyweights, bro.
You might have sold me on Denise, man.
Do it, dude. Fucking let's go together. Like Thelma and Louise, dude. If we're going to go together, just fucking over the edge, man.
Denise decision's plus 300 right now.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is if Pinto does get on top, because Denise has nothing. He gets on his back. So, and Pinto's been in the MMA game longer than Denise. Yeah. So.
It would be smart for him to wrestle for sure.
100%. I can't really count on him to do it. So,
no.
All right, we got Vicente Luque taking on Joel Alvarez. Alvarez comes in as the second biggest favorite on the card, sitting about minus 500. Vicente Luque comes back at he's minus 700 now. Minus 700 for Joel Alvarez and plus 500 for Vicente Luque. I mean, I think Joel Alvarez probably finishes him, but Alvarez at minus 700 it's kind of tough, man. I mean, I'm definitely not going to play his money line. I rarely would ever play a minus 700, especially against an opponent, Vicente Luque, that I respect.
Sure.
But at this point in his career, it's obvious that he doesn't do well with the damage. Him getting knocked out by Jeff Neal and then knocked out, not really, against Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
Where he literally said that he just quit in that fight. Mm-hmm. And then 2 fights later, he gets a submission win, which is good. But that was a quick sub for him, hurt Garimbo and then subbed him. And then the next fight, he's getting subbed by Kevin Holland. So now that he's been finished in 2 of his last 3 fights, or both of his last 2 losses, Joel Alvarez is a pure finisher. So, it should be Alvarez inside the distance. I'm going to check that number, but you got anything else on this one?
Yeah, so I was referencing Hebos earlier, how she kind of like quit. You know, she's had the concussions, whatever. Luke had a brain bleed, which is like the scariest thing for a fighter to do after the Jeff Neal fight. And ever since that, he got knocked out by Buckley. Then he became a wrestler. Then he became, oh, wait, I got a great dart, so I'm going to start taking people down. And he just didn't look himself against Kevin Holland because it looked like he was afraid to strike. That was the first time in his career. Like, this guy's had a decent chin. He's had some wars. You know, he's got some really good wins, but that was a fight where he was like afraid to fight because he's like, I'm afraid this could happen to me again. You go in there with Alvarez, who should be at 170 pounds. You know, don't let it fool you. He's fucking, 55 most of his career, but how many times did he actually make the fucking weight? The guy's enormous. He's 6'3", beautiful knee up the middle, submissions on deck. I like him here. I took Luque on the Inick and Florian just because I built like a parlay, an 11-1 parlay, because I'm down so much to Kenny. So that's just like fake money. But we're talking real money here. I like Alvarez. I like Alvarez by submission. I just think Vicente Luque is not going to really want to stand up with Alvarez. I think Alvarez is too long, too dangerous on the feet. He's got decent hands as well, and he's a problem on the ground. The only time we've seen Alvarez had trouble on the ground was when Sarukian took him down and beat the fucking brakes off him. Yeah. I don't think Luque can do that, right? Luque by submission's interesting. That's 1,400 right in front of my face. He does have a nasty Darce choke. If this goes longer, do we trust Joe Alvarez to have some cardio? I don't know, but I just think if you're going to play this, the money line scares me. It's too big. Let's jump into the props. I like Alvarez by submission, which I don't know what is on the card. Probably early in the fight, round 1 or 2, but I like him by submission, which I think I saw it at -130 somewhere. Joe Alvarez by submission on Bet Online +170. Okay, so you're getting some plus money. That's not bad.
It's the tough part with these guys that can knock you out or submit you. It's like now you got to choose.
I know.
Now you got to choose. You're not going to get like a big difference in the number.
And I feel like if Luque takes a shot and he's going to shut down, like, nope, don't want that brain bleed again. I'm fucking shutting it down.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends. Like against Buckley, he went to his back, and then it was a TKO. And then against Holland, he kind of panic shot and then got caught in the front choke. So, yeah. I mean, the inside the distance -275. So maybe you could get like a -250 on another book, but you're going to pay for it, man. But I think it probably hits. You know, Alvarez is a pure finisher. Has he ever won a decision? I don't think he has.
Yeah, he's got a crazy. I don't think he has either. He's got a pretty fucking impressive record. Unanimous. That was his loss.
The only guy to finish Brenner, right?
Oh, was Brenner? He knocked him out 2 fights ago. Yeah, Jakar Close just fucking slapped him on that knee. Jacasey, the submission he hit on Jacasey was nasty.
He fucking knocked him out with that knee, and I needed the submission to hit this parlay, and he went for the sub. He had him like the guillotine, but like he was already unconscious. So he's like, all right, well, fuck me. I guess I'm not getting this sub.
Bro, I had Jake Matthews in a parlay under. I just had a feeling he could get Neal out of there, or Neal could have kneeled him. And I'm like, what is that fucking ref doing? That killed me. I was just like, what are we doing here, dude?
I was at the sports book and I was rage betting a little bit.
Sure.
And I threw like $400 or $500 on Jake Matthews sub. And I'm like, this is gonna bring me back, dude.
Yeah.
This, new man.
That's the worst.
And then I thought he got it, right? And then I'm like, 2 more rounds. I think
he'll get it again.
He'll get it again.
Yeah.
Then he almost got it in round 2. And I'm like, all right, well, round 3, maybe, right? But then as soon as round 3 started, I'm like, nope, we're cooked. That's Neil Magny's land right there. Round 3. You don't get me out of round 3. Oh, I'm taking over round 3. Yeah, fucking Neil Magny, dude. How much money has he taken from people? It's crazy. It's criminal, dude. It's criminal.
It is criminal.
All right, we'll go to the co-main event. We got Davis and Figueiredo taking on Montel Jackson. Montel comes in as a -310 favorite. Davis and Figueiredo comes back +250. Figgy coming off back-to-back losses to Petr Yan and Corey Sandhagen. Had the knee injury against Corey. And Montel Jackson's on a nice little streak coming off the win against Daniel Marcos, which was a 30-27. And controlled the fight for a majority of it. Montel, big Milwaukee guy. Shout out to the Brewers. I got to check the score here. But Montel's a big favorite, man. I don't know if I agree, dude. Like, I said it in my picks video today, but I'm like, how can I confidently pick Montel Jackson over Davis and Figueiredo?
Right.
That just when Montel Jackson's best win is Daniel Marcos. Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck can I really say that? He's minus 310. Like, I think Figgy could get some grappling going here because I don't really think Montel's grappling is amazing. But I do side with the dog, but I don't know that I'm going to be that confident in it, right? Like, I think Figgy's definitely past his prime, coming off the injury. There's a lot of red flags, but I also think this could be just a huge step up for Montel. I mean, Figgy's a former champ, has had success at 135. His only losses are literally to Jan and Sandhagen, probably the two of the top 3 fighters in the bantamweight division. And Montel, he hasn't really shown me anything. I mean, he's got losses to fucking Brett Johns, dude. Like,
Sure.
and he's not that active. And
No.
it's not like he trains at some great gym either.
Yeah.
I'm a Milwaukee guy. I could say that,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I lean towards the plus money here with Figgy. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. I think most people should maybe take the dice on Davison Figueiredo, get the plus money because he's a former champion. He has had a better competition. He's getting a little bit older, right? But I've been on Montel Jackson since the Contender Series. He debuted, his Contender Series fight was when Greg Hardy fought. He's been in the UFC that long. He fights once a year. He gets a good win. He goes away. He gets a good. This will be the first time in a long time. I don't have it in front of me, but first time in a long time he's going to fight twice this year. He fought back in May. Now he's going to Brazil fighting a former champion. He's going to be the enemy here. But I like Montel. I do. I like Montel Jackson. I think he's big, right? I think Devin Figueroa, he's a little bit thicker for 135, but he's not that big. Montel Jackson's a big 35er with big old hands. And I think he's going to put him on Figgy. I think Figgy does not have the best defense. I think Montel has really good straight punches, stays long. I think he's just wrestling really well. He mixes things up really well. It concerns me when he goes late, and it concerns me if Montel is not the nail because he's proven if I'm not dominating the fight, I'm out of the fight, right? And that concerns me a little bit, but not really because I got to stick to my guns. I've been on Montel since, for fucking 8 years now, however long it's been, right? And all of a sudden he gets a big fight and I abandon ship. I can't do that. So I'm telling people, I think Figgy might be your play here. It's a gorgeous plus money. But since I'm too dug in deep, I'm too dug in on Montel, right? I got too much invested in this guy. So I like Montel Jackson here. How he gets it done, I really don't know. I can see him getting a submission, but that's going to be tough. I really think he'll probably just win a clean decision. I think he might even hurt Figgy on the feet. With his punches. I think his punches are a little bit underrated, but yeah, give me Montel Jackson by decision. But yeah, I'm gonna take Montel, and I'm not gonna look back. I'm not gonna look back, Hayden. Not gonna look back, dude. Not gonna do it. Yeah. Don't question me, Hayden. Don't do it. Don't talk me out of it. Not gonna do it.
I will say this: Montel Jackson has one of the most insane stats like that I've ever seen. Like, this dude does not absorb significant strikes. He just doesn't. He's so long, so tall, keeps his range, finds himself in some fights where they're grappling back and forth, where he's getting taken down, he's ended up on top, or he's going for the takedowns. This dude just doesn't take damage, and that's a recipe to win fights, man. You don't take damage, you will win fights. So I definitely respect Montel Jackson. I think he could get a win here, but I'm not going to be playing him at minus 3XX against a guy in Figgy that if he's not checked out, like, I think he could give him a good fight. So kind of just deciding if I want to play Figgy or not, but
it's a great number.
It's a good number. All right, takes us to the main event of the evening. We got Charles Do Bronx Oliveira taking on Mateusz Gamrot. Gamrot stepping in on short notice to fill in for Rafael Fiziev. Actually, no, it's Rafael Fiziev because he's not Portuguese, ladies and gentlemen. Rafael Fiziev. And Charles didn't want to take this fight initially, but he took it. And Charles comes in as a very slight dog here against Mateusz Gamrot. I guess not. No, it's moving up to true pick'em. Minus 110 apiece. At least on most books. It's minus 110 apiece. Mateusz Gamrot, I'm going to tell you right now, he is the worst fighter for me when it comes to picking his fights.
Sure.
I think I've gotten every single pick of his wrong, except for the RDA fight. And I've been doing my picks, or at least keeping track of my picks for about 3 years.
Okay.
So it started with the Arman Sarukian fight. I picked Arman to win. Mateusz Gamrot won. I picked Gamrot to beat Dariush. Dariush won. I picked Jalen Turner to beat Gamrot. Jalen Turner arguably won, but he didn't. Mateusz Gamrot got his hand raised. I picked Fiziev to beat Gamrot. Fiziev blew out his knee. I did get the RDA pick correct, but he was a minus like 700 favorite. And then I picked him to beat Dan Hooker. He loses a split. I picked Ludovic Klein to beat Gamrot, and Gamrot 30-27 to him. So there's one thing that you should do in this fight, and it's not listen to me. I'm going to take Charles Oliveira here for a few reasons. Number one, Mateusz Gamrot never had a submission attempt on him in the UFC. I got to believe Charles is going to probably throw up a submission here. I don't know. But maybe that's that. Maybe that's Gamrot's just being so good with his wrestling that guys can't get submission attempts off on him, or it's these guys aren't good enough grapplers to force the submissions. I think Charles is probably going to be able to force some submission attempts here. Whether he gets it or not is what it is. Gamrot's also been knocked down in like 6 fights.
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira, pretty powerful striker, decent striker, I would say, the better striker. Oliveira's coming off the big knockout loss to Topuria. Obviously, it's not great, but it's Topuria, man. So I'm going to take Charles here in his home country.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, the person you should not listen to on Gamrot fights is me. So maybe you got some better track record with Gamrot, and you can give the chat a better take than me. What do you think?
Sure. So my Gamrot record isn't as bad as yours. He's a little all over the place, though. I'll give you that. And you touched on basically everything I was to say. He gets dropped almost every fight, right? And the longer the fight goes, the sloppier his wrestling gets. He spams takedowns a lot. He is kind of heavy on top, tries to get something going, but it's not great. I think Charles Oliveira, who fought a guy like Arman Sarukan, who's is so good on top and such a good grappler, and Charles arguably won that fight, could have had him out of there with that submission. I think that's a path to victory for Charles here. I know Charles has had some problems in the past, getting put on his back, getting stuck there, losing fights. I think with Gamrot, I think a lot of people have been able to stand up. And I think people underestimate how Charles Oliveira can wrestle. He out-wrestled Michael Chandler. I never say what you about Michael Chandler, but he out-wrestled Michael Chandler. He's stronger than people give him credit for. My only thing, the reason I'm not backing up the truck, the only reason I'm not throwing my wallet out right now and putting everything I have on Charles Oliveira is he did just get violently knocked out not that long ago. That worries me. This is a short notice fight. He's not fighting a striker. He's not fighting Fiziev. He's not fighting a guy that can really ring his bell. I mean, it's MMA. Anything can happen. Gamrot can land a strike, sure, whatever. But I doubt it. Charles Oliveira is more capable on the feet. But that knockout by Topuria wasn't that long ago. Charles Oliveira, hella high water, was like, I'm fighting in Brazil, bro. And they threw a couple extra bags his way. He took this fight. I think it favors him, though. I think the Fiziev fight scared me more just because of the fact that I don't know how well his chin recovered. This fight, I think the grappling favors Oliveira. 5 rounds, Gamrot in 5 rounds. You mean to tell me he's not going to put his neck in something dangerous? He's not going to put anything in dangerous? Charles Oliveira is slick in there, kid. His type of jiu-jitsu is go for it. It's not patient, it's fucking go for it. And on the feet, I think he's got him covered every which way. Like I said, the only reason I'm not fucking backing it up is that knockout scares me. You know, those chins sometimes, man, you need to recover. And Charles has been put down a lot before. He's never been put out like that, right? And I'm not dogging the knockout. I mean, it's against Topuria. He's the best in the world. It's just the visual, and I would like a year, but here we are against a grappler. I think this worked out for Charles. I think Charles is going to get the submission. That's how I'm going to play this. I like Charles Oliveira. I'm probably going to put him in a couple parlays too because he's very, very low. And I like him by submission, which last time I checked was like plus 250, 255. There it is. Yeah. Last time I checked, 255. So I love that. I think Charles Oliveira is going to get it done here. How can you not root for the Bronx? I mean, how can you not root for Charles Oliveira? You know what I mean? So I like it.
Yeah. I believe it's his first fight in Brazil since the Kevin Lee one.
During COVID, when it was like, a while ago.
Beginning of COVID. So
yeah, like that was like literally like COVID happened. They're like, are we gonna run this fight?
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we'll do it. And then they did a bunch of other after that. It was like Jacksonville, they all went. Yeah, I like Charles Oliveira though, man. I mean, I know we talked a little bit. You said he's like your favorite fighter. By the way, I see DDP over your left shoulder. I was there live in Chicago. He's your guy. How you feeling about it? You're still rocking him on your wall, so it's not like you're yanking him off.
Yeah. He's
still
won
okay?
me so much money. Like I gotta keep him on the wall.
Gotcha.
And This piece was made by one of my followers on Instagram.
Oh, that's dope. Cool.
Handmade. He's a tattoo artist, so he made it for me and sent it to me. So I got to show him respect for putting that time in and making such a beautiful piece. But yeah, I love it.
It's great.
Still love DDP. He's just obviously definitely not on the level of a Hamza Chimaev.
No, he's not.
Do MMA, So yeah, man, I appreciate you for coming on. I know you got to get out of here, but hopefully the chat had a good time. I had a good time, and I'm sure BP had a good time. Appreciate you for coming on. Good luck to everybody this Saturday on your bets. Anything you want to shout out real quick before we hop out of here, BP?
Yeah, Hayden, thanks for having me on, bud. Listen, I'm going to cordially invite right now on the show for UFC 321 for Hayden to come on my show. MMA Takes Podcast. Go subscribe on YouTube. MMA Takes Podcast on YouTube. Hayden and I will do that live that week of. We'll send out links. We'll blast it on social media. You guys are the best. Chat, you're the best. Hayden, thanks for inviting me on, bud. It was a blast, and let's hope we win some money. Okay, let's hope we win some monies. That's what it's about, kid.
That's the absolute goal.
All right, about, kid.
Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. It's in the link in the title and the description if you're on YouTube. And we'll see you very soon back on the channel. And I'll see you on BP's channel.
That's right.
In a couple weeks. All right.
Let's go, boys.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.